So I know you probably can't see me because it's still, the sun has just started to rise and we're deep in the forest canopy here, but Dog Mountain is on the Washington side of the Columbia River Gorge. The height of the mountain is right around 3,000 feet. And we're going all the way to the top. So it's a little over 1,000 feet of elevation gain every mile. And depending on what you've hiked in the past or not, that's a lot. So a little flat section, maybe a chance to catch my breath. So I've been dreading this hike for a long time. I tried it a couple years ago and realized I was woefully underprepared, had no hiking poles, no water. And I got to this point. So difficult or more difficult. And I decided that I was gonna opt for back to the car because I wasn't ready for it. But Darren and I are going up to the top today to do wildflowers. They're supposed to be in massive bloom. So the balsam root flowers, the yellow flowers, lupin, all kind of stuff should be blooming like crazy up there if we don't die making it. It's not that it's dangerous, it's just, it's a really steep incline and it's 4 miles, about 4 miles one way, and it's all up. There's no rest. So hopefully we'll make it before we die. And then I probably won't be doing any B-roll stuff because I'm not turning around to walk that same trek again today. It's not happening. So I'll show you what it looks like as we walk a little bit though. Made it to the first clearing where you can actually see some wildflowers and how high we are. And we're like, I'll say it's 1,300 feet of elevation that we've made. And we're all about halfway up. But the problem is, those clouds, we might be above the clouds, which could be kind of cool. But that's the view that we've got at 1,300 feet. You can see some of the wildflowers right here. And then there are, right up there at the tree line, is the clouds. And we are not at the top yet. So we're going to trudge on and we'll make it to the top. We might not be able to see anything, but we're going to go. Well, I'm almost at the top and I think you can already tell that the odds of a photograph are pretty much zero at the moment. So here's the trail, and there's my view, which the flowers look great, but other than that, it's really cold, the wind is whipping, and I'm really sweaty from the hike up, so I had to put my jacket and my hat on, and it's still not helping that much. Hands are frozen. Unless you think I'm like not checking the weather. I did. The high was 60 today. Maybe down at sea level. Maybe if the sun was out, which it's supposed to be, but the sun's not out. But maybe it'll burn off. But I'm definitely going to the top. So I come this far. So I'll show you when I get there. Well, I've been sitting up at the top for a little bit and there is nothing but you can't see anything. Zero visibility. No idea when it's going to clear or if it's going to clear. So my thought is to go back down and hopefully maybe get underneath where I can get a view of some flowers and the gorge, because from up here at the top, you should be able to see on a clear day, you can see like Mount Adams and some other things, but from right here today at this moment, you can see nothing. So I'm not giving up totally, but I'm not going to just sit here. It's definitely windy, cold up here, and so I'm going to head back down so I can hopefully find something on the way back to the trailhead. But that is my view, and it's worse now than it was when I got here. So you don't always come away with a shot, but again, I'm not giving up. So let me see what I can find. Head back down. At least it's downhill. All right, let's get out of here. I'm back at what they call Puppy Point, which is a little lookout, and it doesn't get any easier. I mean, this is pretty scrabbly as far as like rocks, having to watch your footing so you don't trip like I almost did. Oh, but yeah, even at this viewpoint, there's nothing. So it's a great viewpoint. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Stunning. So on the way back down, I got below the clouds. It's a little less windy. And although, I mean, there's some really pretty clouds in the gorge and we're up high enough, there's still some balsam root flowers on the hillside. It's not coated like it is at the top. It's just, you know, fields of it up there. But there's some great little pockets of color. And so I'm doing a vertical composition, and it's a pretty steep little hillside. So it's kind of hard to show you the back of the camera, but I will show you the photograph, and I am going to show you what it looks like. So 24 millimeters, pretty standard. F16, I'm probably going to have to focus stack. I haven't quite checked, but there's the flowers, and then you've got the gorge and those great clouds down there. The sun isn't too high, so it's got some great clouds and some, you know, the light is nice on the other side of the gorge. So I'm going to take a couple more shots, make sure I'm focus stacked if I have to be, to make sure I've got everything in focus. And if it is, I'm going to show you the photograph right now. So fail number 2 is I came out to Rowena Crest Overlook, and it's not sunrise, but there's really nice clouds. There's some really nice puffy clouds up in the sky to give you know, something. And you know, but the problem is, as you can probably hear, it's insanely windy, like blow you over windy, and the flowers and the grasses are just, there's not a fast enough shutter speed, and even if you did have a fast enough shutter speed, they're all leaning way over. Let me show you. you can see, it's really pretty. Those clouds are nice. And if it was not windy, there would definitely be a way to grab a shot. I couldn't go home totally empty-handed with just maybe one photo. Since everything's been a bust so far, and my favorite restaurant in Hood River was closed, Kickstand Coffee, by far the best place to grab a bite in Hood River, didn't open until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So stopped at Horsetail Falls, and I'm trying to do something a little different than I've done before. I've shot this waterfall a few times, and the sun is out, and it's kind of just touching and kissing the tops and parts. Not direct light, it's definitely skimming it. And it's lighting up the green leaves on this tree on the opposite side of the falls, and it's actually really kind of pretty. So I think I'm able to grab a really nice shot right here. If I can just get some people to move, then I might be able to get a shot. Let me show you what it looks like. So there's the falls, and you can see up here at the top, the sun is just kissing eye and just raking across the very top. I like that if I can keep it in check, so I don't blow those highlights. And then over here, you can see how these leaves are being backlit by the sun. I like that a lot. So that's like a framing element, this whole bit for the waterfall that is here. And then using the sun that's just kind of, like I say, raking across the very top of the falls. And it gives you a nice little leading line because it's kind of touching down right here and raking across that as well. So to get this shot, I'm definitely going to, not focus stack, but I'm definitely going to have to bracket because I don't want to blow those highlights. And also those tree branches are moving a lot. Those leaves are moving because of the wind and the spray from the falls. So I'm going to have to get fast enough shutter speed to freeze those leaves, and then a good shutter speed for my water. And that's probably looking to be around it's around 1/6 of a second or so is what I'm thinking. And then again, depth of field really isn't too much of an issue. I'm just going to use my aperture and my ISO to get an exposure for the backlit leaves and the waterfall once I get that shutter speed dialed in. So this is kind of working a little bit only because of the clouds and the way the sun is streaking across in the background. I'm at the very, very side of the waterfall shooting across it, and because there's some puffy white clouds and some gray clouds and some, those cumulonimbus clouds that are like thunderstorm clouds up there, that's helping. I'm having to wipe the lens off like constantly because I'm so close to the fall that the spray is taking a shower right now and it's really cold. But it looks like this. So the waterfall is at my left. On the right hand side, I've got a couple of very, very tall pine trees and some snags, and then up here in the sky that looks blown out at the moment, but it's really, really not, because it looks like that, right? Is looking really, really nice. So the composition is kind of somewhere around something like this. So again, the waterfall is over here on my left, and then I've got these nice tall trees over here, and it's the nice clouds in the background. So I kind of dig that. I don't think it's going to be like a portfolio award-winning image, but I think it's going to be a solid shot. And after what we've faced today, I'll take it. So if it does turn out, I'm going to show it to you right now.
After the fails of the mornings, I was happy to come away with these photos. Persistence does pay off. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.